this is these things, when you take, like I showed you the other day, if you have a rectangle and you're finding, R stands for rectangle or region, and this is a rectangle, you're really finding the solid that's formed with the surface that's above the rectangle, just like you used to have with area under the curve. There's a curve and then there's an area underneath it. There's a surface and there's the volume with the solid that's formed underneath it. You don't have to know any of that to do this, to do the calculation. So I have this rectangle. I had it moved away from the origin. The one that's on your web assign is at the origin, and it gets a lot easier when it's at the origin. But I would think that when we ask you things like this, it's not going to be at the origin. So let's just go hit it right away with not being at the origin. So here the rectangle is 1 to 3 and 2 to 4. That's how it's written on your, this is exactly how it's written on your web assign. What that means is your X goes from 1 to 3. And your Y goes from 2 to 4. And they ask you to set up an iterated integral. The order doesn't matter here because they didn't tell you. And the little dA that they have here, that I have too because I typed this, that little dA is really dx times dy. If you have the change in x times the change in y and you multiply them, you have the change in area. So that dA stands for change in area. And they haven't told you which one to do first. It's up to you what you want to do first. So your iterated integral is going to look like this. So let me write it like this. And I believe that you have 2 parts to this. I think you have to set up the integral. No, maybe not. But step 1, we call it iterated because there's 2 of them. X equals 1 to X equals 3, and Y equals 2 to Y equals 4. And your function goes right here. And because I put X here first, it's dx here. Has to come first. And then dy. So this x has to match up with this x, dx. They have to match when you set it up. These things can be brutal. So you can imagine if you have 2 points for this and 10 points for this, if you have something mixed up, it's a bloodbath, a complete bloodbath. So be very careful. This is totally about bookkeeping. Step 2 is to calculate that inner integral first. So I call that inner. Woo, what happened here? So you do the integral from x equals 1 to x equals 3 of 14 minus 2x minus 3y dx. And the way you do that is you hold the y constant and you integrate with respect to x. And I'm pulling this out by itself because, again, the way scores are done are by looking for different pieces. If you let your reader know I'm doing the inner one first, here it is, they'll be able to track it. So I got here, this is 14x minus 2x squared over 2 minus 3yx. I hold the y fixed as if it was a constant, and I pop in x equals 1 to x equals 3. I didn't do this with the other class. I had them stop halfway through just because they look like they're going to fall asleep. But I want to get through the whole thing and have you do one by yourself at the boards instead of me going halfway through and then stopping. All right, when I plug this in, for the x's that goes in, I get 14 times 3. It's going to be a hot mess. So let me see. I think the best way to do this is take this out. So I'm going to continue this. Let's see, erase this. X squared, the 2's cancel, so I'm going to cancel that out in my head. 9 minus 3y times 3 minus, I'm super careful, 14 times 1 minus 1 minus 3y. Do that for me at your desk. I don't trust my arithmetic. I never did. Question? I prepared all the answers to that too, so you can check it. Tell me what you get. Do the work at your desk. 14 times 3 is 12.
3 minus 3y minus 9y.
What'd you get?
33 minus 9y.
So now we have an initial point for negotiation. See if you get the same thing. You got a 6y?
Yeah, I think that's right.
I recall 20 minus 6y from somewhere. Yeah, I recall that from last one. See, it's an initial point for negotiation.
I only did the first part. I didn't do the second part yet. I didn't do
This is like painful because one minus sign error somewhere can just change everything. Question, you have a question. What's the It's arithmetic.
Wait, I don't know.
Let's see.
Yes, 33, but then we'll subtract 14.
Negative 9 plus 1 is 8. I think it is 20.
So I can't fail at least go out.
You know what I had to teach coming out of this? Arithmetic. I went to a college where we had 8 sections of arithmetic, and they put me in there. Arithmetic without a calculator. The students thought I was dumb. I use a calculator for this stuff. No, it was just arithmetic for students who were coming, either they were returning to college or they got through high school without knowing arithmetic.
Yeah, I compute like crazy big numbers, like triple digit, like quadruple digit.
The hardest question I gave students there was the absolute value of 3 minus 3, and someone would always get it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was for it's not for grade. So they're taking the class to be able to get to a place where they can take a class for grade. So, all right, now we compute the outer integral. The outer integral is you take the thing that you just got in step 2, dy, and then the limits for the dy were 2 to 4, right? Okay. And you punch those through and you have another arithmetic problem. (20 minus 20 cancels out. You get negative 24 plus 12. 12? Oh, I didn't do that. Yes, correct. I was like, that seems too easy. Let's do that. Good catch. Thank you, Chris. It's Friday afternoon. The arithmetic got a little bit harder. All right, that's harder. You guys can figure it out. It's not 12. Got it? What'd you get? What'd you get? All right, initial point for negotiations. We got 4. All right, confirmed by majority rule. From downtown.